hello. What is up this evening? Afternoon? Night? I guess, depending on where you're at today. How's everyone doing? Welcome. Are we talking about Bant and Standard? Oh, Bant and Standard. I don't know. Hopefully Bant can get beat. Otherwise, the good news is we get another rotation in not too long. What's up, Captain Barbosa? Kretz, Mikester, Attack, D-Many, Ubermower. Welcome, everyone. So today, we're going to play a little bit of Martyr Proc in Modern. So we're still waiting. What's up, Dr. Stormcrow? We're still waiting for Eldritch Moon. Good news is, Eldritch Moon pre-release events start on Magic Online tomorrow. So, special bonus stream tomorrow afternoon about 1 Eastern time to do a pre-release sealed league. So, get to check out some of the new cards. Yeah, I'm really excited to play this one. So, Martyr Proc is pretty sweet. So, what we have going on this deck is the main combo is Martyr of Sands. We're mono white, so Martyr of Sands gains us a ton of life. Thank you for the follow, Desylum. So, Martyr of Sands can gain us a ton of life. We pay 1, sack it, reveal X white cards from our hand and gain 3 times X life. So, with all these white cards, we can gain like 15 life pretty regularly, which powers up our Sarah Ascendant. Makes it a 6/6 flying lifelink for the beatdowns. Otherwise, we're kind of a grindy mono-white control deck. We get Ranger of Eos to find our Martyr of Sands, our Seer Ascendants, our Weathered Wayfarer, some Ghostly Prisons for defense, and then in the late game, we obviously have a Sun Titan and an Elspeth, some Wraths, but we have Proclamation of Rebirth, where we basically get back a 1-drop every single turn for 6 mana. So, in the late game, we can just keep getting back Martyr of Sands, and we're gaining a ton of life each turn to actually just put the game out of reach. And eventually, we win with our Sun Titans. In barring Graveyard Hate, we have Amirias to start getting creatures back from the graveyard, and Mistful Plains to put things on the bottom of our deck. So the deck can go really long, and we can just randomly get nut draws where we gain a bunch of life, beat down with our Sarah Ascendant, and win quickly. Sideboard isn't too out of the ordinary. Some random removal like Celestial Purge, Disenchant for Artifacts and Enchantments, Sonia's Silence for Affinity, more removal and Celestial Flare, Ruined Halo, Mind Sensors for Scape Shift and so forth, some Graveyard Hate. So, pretty straightforward. Awesome, Malcolm Jr. I'm glad you enjoyed the Against the Odds. What about, in fact, isn't the combo worthless? Yes, gaining life doesn't really help against Infect, although getting a 6/6 flyer is still pretty decent. Against Infect, we're pretty much on the Ghostly Prison, Path to Exile, plus bring more removal out of the sideboard plan. But that is true that life gain doesn't really help. Squirrel Dragoon, thank you for the follow. Awesome. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the Against the Odds, and I thought the Budget Magic was sweet too. I'm super excited for Eldritch Moon to start this week. Fake23, thank you for the follow. I think you gotta do card, Nanarath. So why no Philadelphia Sovereign? It's a little low impact for Modern, where things can get killed by Path to Exile. You missed the record with what? Thank you for the follow, someone whose names I missed. I have quite a few constructed at the moment. A lot of these are semi-recent. They're either decks that I have had a really long time, like Blistering Rage. I've had this for like a year. I don't always get rid of old budget Magic decks. And then I have recent stuff that I have borrowed the cards for and haven't given back yet. What's up, 7 Eli 7? Can I try non-budget Aura Swap on stream sometime? Most likely. I enjoyed playing that deck, so I think so. We are playing some Martyr Proc. Yeah, fixing the mana is a huge upgrade for the Aura Swap deck. That's the #1 thing you can do, is improve the mana. I also really like splashing green if possible to get another hexproof 1-drop. Get more nut draws that way. Anyway, we're going to do a Modern League with Martyr Proc. See if we can... Ooh, only 200 people. Oh, they just restarted the leagues, actually. Buchler, thank you for the follow. So yeah, Aura Swap is a future sight mechanic, and that doesn't necessarily mean they'll ever use it. They have used some and haven't used some, but they're mechanics that could be used in the future. So a decent amount have actually been used, but then some have not been used yet. I don't know about that one, if they will actually use it or not. It seems kind of dangerous. And the other thing is, how many of those cards could you have? We've been going at 6 on Thursdays. We moved it to 6 thanks to Community Super League. What's up, Stu, by the way? We moved it to 6 for Community Super League to avoid conflicting with it so much. And then I just haven't moved it back. Blah! Thank you for the follow. So I'm expecting this to be... Oh, is the calendar still off? Oh, yes, you're right. I should do that. Twibs, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Arcanum Wings is awesome. So reminders while you're waiting for this. MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube channel, where you can find all our old streams. Hey, thank you, Draken. Also, if you're looking for a way to support the stream, you can get a playmat. Or actually a playmat, even. We still got playmats running around. So if you want a sweet, fishy playmat, pick one up. I made a set with Aura Swap once. It doesn't have much design space, but it's fun to figure out. Yeah, that's what I thought about Aura Swap. Is there just doesn't seem like there are that many possibilities. Like, how much design space is there really? All right, well, while we're waiting for this, let's look at Future Sight. I know some mechanics have been used, but I can't actually tell you off the top of my head which ones have and haven't, and that's a good question. Where are you, Future Sight? Alright, so what has and has not been used from Future Sight? Apparently sort by rarity does not work on Moto at the moment. That's fun. Oh, Moto. Scry. Was Scry? No, Scry predates Future Sight. Transfigure was not used. Sliver cycling hasn't come up often. Netfo, thank you for the follow. First time tuning in, wanted to say hi sooner, but the stream was starting. My 1-year-old son decided to grab my pop and knock over, killing my keyboard. Oh yeah, that's rough. Well, thank you for joining in, Kayer. All right. got this match. We will talk more about Future Sight in the future. If we have time between matches, we'll go back to it. But this is a deck that we want to make sure we play relatively quickly on, because this can lead to some really long and grindy matchups. Alright. Sure, that's fine. Lifelink and Death Touch were named for the first time. Okay, that makes sense. I like Time Spiral Block a lot as well. Kayer, thank you for the follow. I have a fun brew for Standard. Can I post the link in the chat for advice? Sure. As long as, yeah, if it's a safe link and Magic related, go for it. Yeah, it is a very complex set, Stu. So much going on in that whole block, really. That's true. Ghostfire was basically devoid with no keyword. Amiria go. Which is faster, this or Mono Blue Prison in Standard? They might be similar. Maybe Mono Blue Prison. I think the thing with this deck is it does have potential to randomly win really quickly if we just gain a bunch of life and get in with a Sarah Ascendant. So that can happen. But then there's also games where it is very long and grindy. Also depends on the matchup as well. Yes, our Squadron Hawks are not matching. Not a fan of Martyr Proc, Stu? Oh, it's so grindy and fun. So I would assume that Control is probably a good matchup. I think we can just outgrind and out-card advantage most Control decks. Opponent Thought Seizes. Probably takes our Ranger of Eos. I have two of the Modern Masters Hawks and two of the M11 Hawks. And I'm pretty sure I have enough in my collection that we could be playing either version, but we went half and half. Noropa, thank you for the follow. I consider this more of a control deck. It is a little bit combo-y, but how do you feel about Sigarda's Aid in a Boggles or Heroic Brew? I'm doubtful that it is worth a card. I think most of the time in those decks you would just want another artifact or enchantment. I think it's worth testing, and it could be good, but more than likely, I think it's not going to be worth a card in most decks. I think they're giving me a punt because I have mismatched Squadron Hawks. Some people are not a fan of the mismatched Hawks. Well, if we searched out all the Hawks, we would have an issue because we would have had to discard for no real good reason. Let's just Plains and Ghostly Prison. Really? You got a Spell Pierce? Oh, Stubborn Denial. Well, I guess we keep attacking for now. Our opponent is down to 9. Alright, down to 16. Opponent Greg's Polluted Delta down to 8. Confidant. Dante. Thank you for the follow. What's up, Learson? Oh no. Oh yes. That changes things. We gotta wait a turn. But I don't think we want to play all of our Squadron Hawks. I guess we can. Squadron Hawk. Thrill Captain, thank you so much for the follow. No search. And then we'll play Flagstones. Then we'll... Oh, I guess we'll just play our last Squadron Hawk. What we really want to be doing is getting down the Sun Titan. That would be sweet. I don't think we're going to attack into the Lingering Souls tokens. We're getting kind of close to Emeria, which will be good. Oh, our opponent's going aggro. Well, let's just chump Tassiger. Oh, you're welcome, Throw Clapton. I'm glad you enjoy it. How long have I been borrowing cards from Card Hoarder? Let's see. 2-3 months, something like that. Cash Your Death, thank you for the follow. Oh, are we gonna get countered here? Well, let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a feeling we're gonna get hit by Remand. Whoa! Alright. Well, we get back a Ghostly Prison. That is awesome. Suiro, thank you for the follow. MTGO pre-release starts tomorrow at 1 Eastern, and we will be doing an event. A pre-release sealed event at 1 Eastern tomorrow. So yeah, I think it's been 2 or 3 months that I've been able to easily borrow cards for the videos. Because, yeah, in the past, I was pretty much doing it all on my own. And that was challenging. But it just wouldn't work now with how many decks we play on stream. Even having a pretty big collection, it still wouldn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4... Wait, do we have... Oh, we're gonna be 1 plane short? Well... Let's go attack with Squadron Hawks. Beam Devil, thank you for the follow. If they had them, I think I could borrow them. The Shadowborn Apostles. And then we'll just Wrath and pass. Commander Clash would be hard. Mostly, it's just the sheer amount of decks that we go through that makes it challenging. Because I play like 1, 2, 3, 4, usually 5 different decks a week. Budget Magic isn't bad as far as cost. And against the odds varies, but... Alright, let's just untap. There's the planes. Alright, so now we're actually in pretty sweet shape. Because we can Ghost Quarter our Flagstones, and that will get us to Emeria mana. And then we get back our Sun Titan, which gets back other stuff, and we should just win from that. So, Ghost Quarter, Flagstones. Search out a planes. Search out a planes thanks to Flagstones. Get back a Sun Titan. Which gets back a... I guess we can just get back a land? We'll get back a Squadron Hawk. Play a little defense. Punt. Oh, for not searching up Mistville? Yeah, I guess I could have searched up a Mistville. Ranger of Eos. Getting... And our opponent scoops it up. Alright, well that was easy. Okay. This is Magic the Gathering ABCQQ. Magic the Gathering Online. It is not exactly MTG 2015. And I don't think you can get it on an Android. You can't get Magic Online. It's pretty much just Windows, right? It is similar to Duels of the Planeswalkers. Well, I think we definitely want Relic of Progenitus. Will I do any Momir today? That'll just depend on what time we get done. So, if we have an extra bit of time at the end of the stream, yes. If the league takes a long time, then probably not, especially since we're going to be doing the bonus stream tomorrow. So, it'll just depend on when the league wraps up. Anything else we should be sideboarding in, anyone? Willing to take suggestions. Yeah, you can get it to work on Mac. I don't really care about Tasigur. I mean, that's a reasonable suggestion, but I don't really care about them activating Tasigur that much. Any standard blue-black emerge deck text coming? Potentially next week. Tomorrow in the afternoon, Bastion89, thank you for the follow. Tomorrow in the afternoon, Eldritch Moon releases on Magic Online, so we're going to play a pre-release sealed event tomorrow about 1 Eastern time. Will I play budget standard? Tonight, no, but in the future, yes. We're kind of waiting for Eldritch Moon, and then we're going to have a lot of budget magics for standard coming up over the next few weeks. Standard and Eldritch Moon will be the big focus going forward. I guess we can go on a Wrath and a couple of Wraths. Maybe that's too risky. Bridgeface95, thank you for the follow. Will it be video or just stream? Are we talking budget magics, or are we talking about the pre-release event? Thank you, Dark Spy. So the budget magics will be primarily in video, although we might do some on stream as well. The sealed event will be live on stream, and then if you want to catch it after the fact, it will be uploaded on the MTG Goldfish replay YouTube. So make sure to follow that if you're looking to catch old streams. Alright. Well, we got our combo here. Martyr of Sands, Proc to get it back. So we just got to get up to 1,000,000 mana and avoid counterspells. Actually, counterspells don't even really matter with Forecast. But if we get up to 6 mana or 7 mana, we can gain a bunch of life every turn. This is game 2 of match 1 of our stream. I can update that. We are currently 1-0 in round 1. Unigo, thank you for the follow. It is going to start around 1 Eastern time. Because that is when Eldritch Moon officially releases. That's when the events start. So hopefully jump into a pre-release event as soon as they start around 1 Eastern. Did I see the videos of Jeff Hooglin playing the Allosaurus Rider Eldritch? No! Did it work? Mean Buffalo, thank you for the follow. Blue-white spirits might still be somewhat budget. Yeah, let's Squadron Hawk. This helps us gain even more life with our Martyr of Sands. Pass the turn. I will have to check it out. I did not realize Jeff made videos of it. Sulisho, thank you for the follow. Lots of follows tonight. Thank you, everyone. All right, so block with Martyr of Sands, and then we'll just sack and gain 12, which is a pretty good number. What did I get a punt for this time? Or is that punt for the misspelling by someone else? So we're up to 32, which turns on our Sarah Ascendants. Yes, no Nykthos. We don't always have enough devotion, and we play a lot of land destruction spells that are colorless, the Ghost Quarters and Tech Edges. So we're kind of using the colorless slots there. Plus, we want to make sure we have enough planes for Emuria, so we'd have to cut Ghost Quarters and stuff, which are more important, to make it work. What did they take? They took the Ranger of Eos. Alright, let's Squadron Hawk. I guess we can just go on the Infinite Squadron Hawk plan here pretty shortly. And then Relic of Progenitus gets Stubborn Denialed. And then Mistful Plains get in 4-1 with Squadron Hawk. Oh man, Armageddon would be sweet if it was modern legal. What's up? Don't chat ban me, please. How's it going tonight? Oh, free Chipotle. Give me some, Stu. Oh, I didn't even know there was free Chipotle today. What? You're not a fan of Chipotle, Michael Sky? They make a mean burrito. Yes, mirrors have potential to go a while. Ooh, that's a good draw. So we get to Ranger of Eos. Search up Seer Ascendant and Seer Ascendant. Flagstones, and play a 6/6 Flying Lifelink for 1 mana. Oh, Seer Ascendant is pretty good. Our opponent has a path, which actually isn't even the end of the world because it works us towards our Emuria. We're at, what, 4 planes, but a virtual 6? Yeah, let's just chump the Angler. We want to stay at 30 for this Sarah Ascendant. Sarah, right? Sarah. That's how I've most recently been corrected to say it. Sarah Ascendant. Not Sierra. Like the mist. Lingering Souls, sure. Well, let's Sarah Ascendant. And now here's the cool trick we can do. We get to Mistful Plains, put a Squadron Hawk on the bottom of our deck. Then we get to play a Squadron Hawk to search up the Squadron Hawk we just put on the bottom of our deck. So we pretty much have infinite Squadron Hawks now. And then we'll play the Ghost Quarter, and I guess we get in with Ranger of Eos and pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're still a planes away from Emuria. We can start getting back Martyr of Sands every turn and sacking it if we need to. We already have a lot of life, and I think it is... I think getting Emuria online is even better. And now we actually just get Emuria online now. So I think we will just win. So our opponent does some attacking. We block with the Squadron Hawk. But then we do the Ghost Quarter ourselves trick. Get a planes. Get a second planes. Congratulations, Rager Tooth. What is the weakness of this deck? How competitive could it be GP level? This deck has won tournaments before, or performed well at tournaments before, on a GP level. So, yes, that is a real possibility. So I think we just get back the Ranger here to get... And our opponent scoops it up. Well, so far, so good. Tamio's Love. Well, welcome. You're not that late. We've only went through one match, and we kind of crushed it. PH Duck 1. Thank you for the follow. So we're off to a good start. 1-0. Just completely ground Grixis control right out of the game. They just couldn't keep up with our card advantage. Yeah, I got a few different lands recently. I just really like the art on that one in specific. Yes, I don't think Control has a good matchup against us because we can just out-card advantage them. This deck, it generates a lot of card advantage. How do you win with the deck? You pretty much just grind your opponent out with card advantage and hopefully win with the Sarah Ascendance is the main plan. Otherwise, you can kind of attack your opponent's mana base, Sun Titan, there's a Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Esper Control, rather. Not Grixis. The Nighttime Snow-Covered Plains, that is a sweet one. Oh, got a Tamio today? Very nice. Did I write an angry letter to my electric company yet? No, not yet. I think it's just one of those things that happens, unfortunately, sometimes. Why not use Sarah Avatar? It's just kind of low impact. Like, yes, it would be really huge, but it still just dies to Path to Exile. How did the name MTG Goldfish come about? Well, I was not there for the beginning of MTG Goldfish, but I don't think there's a very good story for the name. I think Richard just thought it sounded cool. Originally, MTG Goldfish Trivia, the original name of the site why Richard was building it was Liliana, or something to do with Liliana, because he made it around when the original Innistrad was coming out, and he really liked Liliana. That's true, goldfishing is a legit Magic term, but I don't think it has any special connection to the site, really. Yeah, we are still not partnered. Luckily, the good news is we are getting enough viewers that we typically have the options, the quality options, which is the big deal. If you're looking for a way to pseudo sub, there's a link down below where you can sign up for premium on MTG Goldfish, the support link. It's $6 a month, and you get a ton of sweet deck building tools. Stuff that I use all the time, even before I started working at Goldfish. Just because the tools are really helpful if you have a collection or you're interested in MTG Finance at all or anything like that. Yeah, Burn seems like a good matchup for us. How many matches have we played? We have played one, and we won it pretty easily. Atonement Blade, thank you for the follow. We haven't had to name the Goldfish deck yet. Or name the Goldfish contest yet. Shuma Shinka, thank you for the follow. Yeah, if you're ever looking for the deck list, if you just do !deck, you should be able to find it. Alright, well, it is a burn matchup, which I think means this should be a very good matchup for us. We do not get a land, which is a little bit disappointing. I guess we just gotta play Emiria, get in for 1, and pass the turn. Oh, I think Stu did give the Goldfish a name, but I don't remember what it was. Well, Burn feels like it should be pretty much an auto-win matchup. I don't know how they beat a deck with this much life gain. I mean, Martyr of Sands is 2 mana, and it's going to gain us at least 9 and maybe 15. Mariochi, something like that. Thank you for the follow. So Wayfarer we can only activate if an opponent controls more lands than us. So we would have had to skip our land drop to be able to activate it. And I didn't want to skip our land drop. What we will do, though, is we will probably just path this Goblin Guide. Swift Spear for our opponent. We'll probably path the Goblin Guide. And then our opponent will have more lands and we'll be able to do it that way. So our opponent's going to attack. We would love to just hit a land. We have a Ranger of Eos on top. So let's path the Goblin Guide. Yeah, I mean, they have ways that they can win, but it's not very easy for them to win. And now we can search up a land with our Weathered Wayfarer. So we'll draw... Actually, do we upkeep it? Do we want Ranger of Eos? Oh. Well, I guess I didn't set the stop soon enough. So we're getting a Ranger of Eos, whether we like it or not. So Weathered Wayfarer, we'll just get a regular Plains, because we want an untapped land. Play the Plains, play the Martyr of Sands, and maybe we just sack it right now, so we can't get Atarka's Commanded or Skull cracked. Like, we don't get the free chump block by doing it this way, but gaining 12 is pretty good. So I think that's fine. I mean, going up to 28 against Burn is a pretty good feeling. Opponent Lava Spikes, pumps up their Swift Spears. Would you do green-blue tokens in Standard? I would have to think about that. What's up, Super Originality? How goes it tonight? Another Lava Spike. So our opponent's just gonna do what they can, empty their hand. Plays a land. So they're gonna hit us for a bunch, but they're almost out of cards. Thank you for a follow, someone whose name I unfortunately just missed. If we get really desperate, we can always get back our Martyr of Sands, just hard casting the Proclamation of Rebirth. And a Boros Charm. Alright. Well, we took a ton of damage this turn, but I think we're still okay. We're still going to be at 10, and our opponent is down to 1 card. How fast is the modern combo curve? Well, the idea is it'll be around turn 4, but that doesn't always... It is sometimes faster than that in practice. Alright, well, let's Weathered Wayfarer, search out a Mistfill Plains? Yeah, Mistfill's fine. And we just lucked our way into another Martyr of Sands, play the Martyr of Sands, reveal the cards, go back up to 22. Can I give a hint of what the next Against the Odds episode is going to be? Alright, well, it is based on Eldritch Moon, of course. And if you think a little bit about what cards from Eldritch Moon I might play on Against the Odds, you probably will make a pretty good guess, within a card or two. Because there's some cards in the set that really stand out as being the best. So our opponent did have Atarka's Command, so good thing we played around it. We're down to 13. Sure. Well, the good news is I expect that we will play all of those soon. So it's more a matter of what comes first. Uh, it is not Spell Queller, I will tell you that. You have done a good job of narrowing down a lot of the top cards, though, that I would consider for the stream, or for against the odds. How do we want to do this? We're at 13. We can't search out a land. Let's just Ghost Quarter and Ranger of Eos. Search out a Kami of False Hope and a Sarah Ascendant. And then we'll just play the Kami of False Hope and get in for one. Kami of False Hope is the other sweet combo in this deck. We can just fog every turn by getting this back with our Proclamation of Rebirth's forecast ability. Well, you all have narrowed it down to 3 cards, and I will tell you, out of the 3 cards that have been mentioned the most, it is one of those 3. But I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, so you'll have to wait and see. And the other cards that were mentioned, Prototype, for example, I think that we will very likely play them eventually on Against the Odds, but not this week. Alright, we'll just sack our Kami. Well, the thing is, we can get back Martyrs from the graveyard, but we didn't have Kami. So it seemed like it was fine to get the Kami since we already have 2 in the graveyard. Is the music too loud? Or you can just hear it this week? I don't know what's going on. Eidolon of Revel is a bit annoying. Not really deadly, but... What do we draw? If we draw a land, I think we just Squadron Hawk and then Proclamation of Rebirth back all our stuff. That's true, they could have Skullcracked there. That is a good point. Alright, we drew the land. So I think this makes our choice fairly easy. We'll just Squadron Hawk. Yeah, we take 2. Refill our hand with Hawks. So we're going to have 1,000,000 white cards. And this should just be game over for our opponent. So we're not going to be able to forecast our Proclamation of Rebirth yet. But we just get back all 3 1-drops, including 2 Martyrs. And then we'll just immediately sack 1 and gain 15. And now really our opponent is almost locked under their own Eidolon at this point. Opponent goes attacking. We will block and sack this time to be safe. Am I a competitive player IRL, like aiming for the Pro Tour or anything? Not really. I honestly don't play Paper all that often at this point. Johnson, 1975. Plus, I am too busy building sweet jank decks to travel for tournaments, really. So no, that's, I mean, if I ever made the Pro Tour, that would be sweet, but I'm not like a grinder that's going to GPs and SCG Opens with that being my goal. Oh, I'm not Reed Duke. That is also true. There's only one Reed Duke. My lands are all matching today. And they're cool, too. I really like this land art. The hut land. Oh, Baywatch. If I wasn't so busy brewing against the odds, I'd definitely be on the Pro Tour. No. The other problem is I tend to punt more often than a pro player, so... Did I see the list of Soul Sisters that got second place at the mocks? I am not sure if I saw that one in specific or not. And our opponent, we only had to gain 35 life or something, and they scoop it up. So against Burn, we don't really have a ton in the sideboard. We could bring in Celestial Purge. That's the only card I'd even really consider. And I don't even know if that's worth it. Do we just want another removal spell? I guess it's better than O-Ring. That is for sure. Since it's cheaper and instant speed and still hits everything in their deck. I like Esper Control and Magic. That's about it, Flank Attack. My problem as far as being a great Magic player is consistency. Like, I think I see high-level lines and can play at a high level, but then I have very bad lapses from time to time that just ruin everything and ends up losing me an entire game. Do we want both Celestial Purges? What else would I take out for Celestial Purge? Do you think there could be a dedicated Elspeth control in Modern? This might be about as close as it gets. I don't know if you'd build a dedicated Elspeth control deck, but I think you can play her as a finisher in certain decks. Yes, Pithing Needle on Pithing Needle is a good example. We'll take out the lucky white bordered Wrath. I mean, the changes aren't massive. The changes are very small. But I think Celestial Purge is definitely better than... I think Celestial Purge is definitely better than O-Ring. But then you go for the throw on another player's turn while staring down a voice of it. Yes, that's another good example, Illusions Donate, good game. So I do really horrible, harebrained things like that too often. And that's fine doing this, and because I'm still a pretty good player, I can still have a pretty good record. But at a Pro Tour or something, I would be severely punished for that. SL, thank you for the follow. You can get away with that stuff more if you're playing at a lower level and the competition is better. Just the fact that I get to play Magic a lot more than most people is just kind of an advantage, I think. So it can make up for some of those mistakes, but it wouldn't work that way at a Pro Tour. Yeah, the doubling season combo deck was sweet. Yeah, punting on video doesn't even really bother me that much anymore. Yeah. Most of the time when I do something like that, I think part of the problem is I tend to play too fast. So I sometimes make those mistakes just because I don't take a second to take a breath and like look over the board one more time, because I knew the Voice of Resurgence is on the battlefield and I know how Voice of Resurgence works, but I just get in this groove of playing quickly and that leads to bad things happening on occasion. What's so funny about Seth? Oh, wait, was the question. What do I do for a living? I am the content manager at MTG Goldfish, so I am super lucky to get to work full-time on Magic and writing articles and website stuff, but my job is Magic. Have I ever removed a video because of punting? No. If I punt, I will put it on video. The way a video gets removed is occasionally if there's just a crunch for time, a match can get cut, or if there's duplicate matches. So if I'm recording the matches and I run into the same deck multiple times, I won't post all of the matches against the same deck. Because I did that before and got really bad feedback, and people just didn't want to see me playing against the same deck every time, so. I think we're playing to this Wrath here pretty much. That's true. I think I probably play slightly worse when I'm dealing with, like, talking to the chat and all the other stuff that goes into recording and, like, narrating the matches, so I think that might have a little bit to do with it as well. Oh. I guess we just gotta take our beats and then Wrath. When are we drafting the new set? We are doing a pre-release sealed tomorrow at 1 Eastern. Yes, people do not like eggs either. I've learned that as well. Yeah, I think being able to laugh at yourself is definitely important. Twisted nails. And I do some things that are pretty funny sometimes, so it's easier just to laugh about them than get all, I don't know, upset about a punt or something like that. We might be dead here. This might just be too slow. Eidolon is actually pretty annoying. So, we survived, but we're probably going to die to burn spells. Atarka's command down to 4. Bolt to 1. I guess we just really want a Martyr of Sands in this matchup. Maybe I should have mulliganed a bit more aggressively. Yes, Jake is leaving Commander Clash, Malcolm Jr. He talks about it on the next Commander Clash, but pretty much he just isn't especially inspired to be building Commander decks right now. And someone will be taking Jake's spot. We're still figuring out exactly who it is. I overstand, thank you for the follow. But someone will be taking Jake's spot. And it's possible that Jake could come back in the future. I think we're gonna move to like a season model. So we'll do 8, 10, 12 episodes or something with a specific group. And then there will probably be, at the end of a season, some amount of reshuffling of the lineup. Which means at a future season, if Jake is feeling like playing more Commander or has the time to come back, then could potentially come back. Or we'll have new guests on like that, so. I don't think the replacement name rhymes with Fru. I will miss Silent Jake. Vanduno and Silent something, I think. Thank you for the follows. And Chase 55565. Thank you as well. What happened to the modern flashback drafts? Oh, that's another thing that I need to get fixed. So, Savage Pig, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, everyone. I just don't have the time to do them right now, is the main issue. I think I bit off more than I could chew when I said I was going to try to do it for the whole year. So my schedule just got super crazy with all the stuff I do with the site. So that was the thing that ended up getting put on hold. But I'm hopeful that it'll come back at some point. Whether that is with me or with someone else, I'm not 100% sure. Alright, I'm going to mulligan this one. Oh, the slowest hand ever. Chris, thank you for the follow. Are we going to play Momir tonight? What time is it? 7? There might be a chance. This deck isn't... It depends. Like, it depends 100% on what time this league ends. If I have a little extra time at the end, we will do a game of Momir. If not, then probably not. Most valuable flashback draft of this year was Cold Snap, but it is going to be Zendikar, which is about 3 weeks from now. Zendikar is quite literally a free roll at current prices. Oh, do I get a mulligan to 5? Yeah. Oh, no! Oh. That hand was just so slow against Burn. Well, that's a very disappointing way to lose. What did you say, Stu? Oh, yeah, it is a... Oh, yeah. Our opponent said they really like MTG Goldfish. And I told them, that's an easy thing to say now that I've mulled to 3. Where was that when I was gaining 30 life in game 1? Anyone likes MTG Goldfish when they have a 3-card hand. A stewish kind of guy. It could happen, Stu. Well, we drew a land. That's a start. Putting cracks, Bloodstained Mire. Chaz, someone asked this and I keep forgetting to answer. Chaz teaches at the college level. He's like some sort of professor-y person. Another path. Alright, pass the turn. He teaches at college. I'm not sure exactly the details. Tau Squared, thank you for the follow. Helix down to 14. Wooded Foothills, correct. I don't know his exact title, or if he's like an I don't think he's like a professor. He might be like an adjunct or something, but I know he teaches on the college level. Oh. Alright, well. The old Ghostly Prison Path to Exile combo. Kind of a no-bo. Savet, thank you for the follow. What's my favorite other MTG Goldfish YouTube channel? So I can't vote for MTG Goldfish YouTube. Can I vote for MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube? Yeah, we're getting back in it, sort of. There's a few channels I enjoy. I enjoy videos on the Mana Source, Wedge's channel. I also enjoy the Professor's videos. I also think that Rudy, that does Alpha Investments, is really... I don't know, for some reason I keep watching his videos. He's very entertaining. I don't always agree what he says, but he's just... he's goofy and entertaining and does things that that makes me watch his videos. So those are 3 that I like. The Mana Sauce, headed by Potato Wedge. Do I get some of my deck ideas from Wedge? Uh, Me and Wedge have a lot of coincidences at times where we just happen to do something with the same deck or similar decks around the same time, but that is 100% unplanned. Like, we don't sit down and talk about it or anything, plan it out or anything. It just randomly happens that we feature the same deck sometimes. Yeah, there is some crossover, but it's just a natural thing that randomly happens. It's not planned out at all. Malcolm Jr. Voting for your own channel is like Richard's fishmail plant question. That was actually a real question. I saw the original question. Unless he was making like fake accounts so he could ask it. I like Travis Wu as well. Ooh, Commander 2v2 with Star City Games. Oh, the GOAT deck. I thought about playing the GOAT deck, but then I realized there was probably no way that deck would ever actually win, so I didn't play the GOAT deck. I think, what's his name? The meme guy that posts, whose videos get posted on Reddit. He did a GOAT deck today or yesterday. He's actually pretty funny too. He's a little over the top sometimes and very meme-ish, but some of his best stuff is pretty funny. I can't think of his name. Oh, I Hate Card Games. Yes, that's who it is. Yes, I Hate Card Games. Very good. Do I have a favorite Hall of Fame player and why? Are we dead? There's still like some weird. Our opponent did not attack. Oh, Wrath is not what we wanted. If we get Ranger of Eos, there might be some way of us winning this game, but I think it's going to be too late now that we get burnt out. I like I like a few people, but a couple of my favorite Hall of Fame players are Patrick Chapin, and I like Huey a lot as well. William Jensen. I actually like the whole Peach Garden Oath team. Reduke and Owen as well. So, but Chapin I just enjoy for his deck building and his the kind of decks that he likes to play are similar to the decks I would like to play, like very good control decks. I'm also a big fan of Sato as well, even though he's not technically in the Hall of Fame. Oh, Eidolon! Come on, land! We could still win this. Alright, well, this is not exactly it, but land, play the flagstones, keep the new flagstones, search out a plains. Might as well get Misfill Plains. Wrath of God, hope for the best. What do they have in their hand? I don't know why they haven't been burning us out. It feels like they're holding up a Tarka's command or something, but I don't know why they're not firing off burn spells at our face. Alright, there's a bolt, down to 8. Now we're hoping for Ranger to get... Oh, I think we're going to be dead here. Ranger. Well, this ended up actually being pretty close considering how bad this goes. Skullcrack, Atarka's command, something like that. You have to tell me how you cut the against odds to be shorter that way. My theory is you remove the frames where it's quiet. That is about right, waiting. Just a lot of editing. It's mostly reviewing or editing out places where there's silence, but it's also some amount of editing out places where there's talking too. I do a little bit of the actual audio editing as well. Yeah, I probably should have explained that a little better, Pimped Up Monk. The punt wasn't that they blocked Phage, they needed to block Phage, but by blocking Phage in a way that Phage died, they killed themselves. So, like, one person blocked with Tassiger when they had the ability to... Oh, I'm all to 3. When they had the ability to activate a creeping tar pit and block with the creeping tar pit. So that was the punt, that they had other options that didn't require them killing themselves. But you are right that they had to block Phage or they would die. Well, losing to Burn is about the worst thing I can imagine. We got... Game 2 was probably my fault for keeping that hand. Game 3, we just got... a mold of 3. That is pretty depressing. Oh, well, thank you, Luke Crack. No, I use Lightworks for all my editing. Will we do Momir Basic today? Up in the air. It depends on when this league ends. It seems slightly less likely than some other leagues, just because this deck can be pretty slow. But we'll see. We're heading into round 3, so we have 3 more matches. If we get those 3 matches done in about an hour, then I will do a game of Momir to close things out. If it's like an hour and a half, then probably no Momir tonight. Especially since we're going to be back tomorrow, special bonus stream at 1 o'clock. Good night, Arnor. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your sleep. Why, is Lightworks not a good thing to use, Duct? Is that a bad program? Turtle Shock 88. I'm just familiar with it. Cardinal Fool, thank you for the follow. Yes, we'll be playing while skydiving. Undecided is what I meant. Ooh, budget mono blue Eldrazi with Tameo. That's sweet. Alright. What are we up against in round 3? Did you hear that thing about the Mythics being mapped out in Liliana packs in Eldritch Moon? Jeez, 3 Squadron Hawks? That is not great. Yes, I did. I don't think it's always Liliana packs, but there's like a lot of boxes have all of the Mythics in the same pack art, whether it be Liliana or something else. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying Momir, Deniser. Any idea if I'll be on CSL next season or not? I don't know. I have not heard anything about a future season of CSL. Razortooth MTG. Well, thank you for stopping by. We'll be around... Rowboat, thank you for the follow. We'll be around tomorrow for a bonus stream, and then Tuesday for a normal stream. So, if you have time on those days. Max level 426, thank you for the follow. Promo Nicodole. Well, I guess we're just going to gain a ton of life with this Martyr of Sands. Rain's Plague, thank you for the follow. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the regular stream days. Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. Usually at 7 on Tuesdays and 6 on Thursdays. And then we're just doing a bonus stream tomorrow afternoon because of the release of Eldritch Moon. So we're going to play a sweet pre-release sealed event. Yeah, the promo is kind of weird looking. Alright, we get to gain a bunch of life. This looks like Death Shadow Zoo, most likely. Up to 35. Would I be willing to do an instant deck tech on Green-White Enchantress in Modern or Legacy? Possibly, yeah. Phallic, thank you for the follow. Will we ever get a beard cam or a face cam? Potentially. Why are there people beeping outside of my window? No. No reason, I guess. Yeah, I don't know about the art on this one. Land, please? Alright, that works. So now we get to Sarah Ascendant, and then Squadron Hawk to search out a Squadron Hawk. And they really need to kill our Sarah Ascendant, or it's going to kill them. Scalding Hot Soup, thank you for the follow. Yeah, any live plans for streaming Commander Clash? Commander Clash is in flux at the moment with Jake leaving, so doing a live stream of Commander Clash has kind of been pushed onto the back burner while we figure out who's going to be taking up the Jake's seat over the short term. I don't really want to block with Sarah Ascendant, but if we don't... Alright. They're probably going to make it small anyway. So maybe we do just block. But Dismember is so bad. This is actually a tough decision on this block. You're welcome, Onyx. Jake is not leaving MTG Goldfish altogether. He's just leaving or taking a break from Commander Clash. So he's still going to be doing the Pauper series. So that's not changing. Yeah. I guess. I don't like any of these options. Verdant Catacombs, Wild Nicottle, and opponent passes. Opponent draws from Bobble. Well, let's get in with Ascendant. See, the problem here is if they can, like, bolt our face. Oh, looks like they can't. If they could bolt our face, we'd lose flying and become a 1/1. Opponent drops to 6. We're at 38. Let's just Ghostly Prison. Ghost, thank you for the follow. Will we have a new regular or a guest, or just cancel Commander Clash altogether? So, well, Commander Clash is not being canceled. That's for sure. The plan is to have a regular... someone take Jake's spot as a full-time Commander Clash player, at least for, like, 10 episodes. So that's the idea, because the chemistry and, like, the camaraderie and, like, a group of friends playing together, that's what that series is kind of about. Like, that's what makes it great, is we're all just kind of hanging out and having fun, and everyone's having a good time. So having a different guest every week would take away from that atmosphere, I think, because you'd always have a new person, the chemistry would be different each time. So looking for someone that's going to do, like, a season's worth, 10, 12 episodes worth of Commander Clash is the plan. Yeah, it could be cool to have someone that's known in the Commander community. Been thinking of some options and figuring it out. We can have the goldfish be the fourth player. I'm gonna miss Silent Jake, Goblin Erection. Those are some of my favorite parts of Commander Clash, is when Jake gets all salty and turns off his headset. Oh, it cracks me up so much. Oh, Stu is gathering support in the chat. What do we want against this deck? Suicide Zoo. David McDarby. Is he one of the SCG guys? MTG Radio. Yep, that's one of the big Commander streamers. Burning Sharon. Thank you so much for the follow. What about Chaz? He plays Commander, right? I guess Chaz is getting into Commander. He never really played before, but he is. D. Johns Chris, thank you for the follow. Chaz is also pretty busy himself, being Professor Chaz, or whatever he is. Something like a professor. And also writing his articles and doing the podcast and stuff, but he might be able to. That would be kind of interesting to do a crossover EDH game with SCG. I'll have to talk to Wes. Because that could be a cool, even if it was like just a one episode thing. Celestial Flare is probably fine here. Celestial Purge is also probably pretty good. Going down the O-Ring, going down a Wrath of God, and an Elspeth, I guess. Try it like that. Do you think a sorcery that cost 1 blue and 1 Phyrexian mana would break... Well, what does the sorcery do, Mr. MRC Cubed? Like, I could imagine 1 blue. I'm so confused. I'm very confused by what that card actually does. Oh, 1 blue and 1 Phyrexian mana that draws 2 cards. Yes, that would be too good for Modern and Standard. If it was just blue and a blue Phyrexian mana and it did nothing, that would probably be fine. It ups your storm count. Do we have interns? We don't. MTG Goldfish we're a pretty small group. Me and Richard are really the only actual employees, as far as like real full-time employees, and then other people that contribute and do articles and stuff. But Gitaxium Probes. This hand seems okay. We get a Chump Blocker, a Celestial Purge, and a Ghostly Prison. I don't know if I like... Do you watch or keep up on the Robo Rosewater cards? For some reason, they have gotten less funny in this last iteration. Like, they've almost become too good, where they just feel like real Magic cards. And I guess that's kind of the, the idea, but still. I like them better when some of them were just completely off the wall. The problem with McDarby is that he worked in the store's actual showroom when not making videos, and he wanted to enjoy his 20s, so he left. That seems like a reasonable reason to leave. I'm all for people enjoying... Oh, why do we always draw Squadron Hawks when we can search them up? I'm all for people enjoying life. Tomer, I think Tomer would take suggestions for commander decks. I know he does for budget commander and stuff. So I would shoot him an email or tweet at him or something. Yeah, some of the old ones are just so funny. Oh, Tromple. Mountain Spolk. They were so good, but now they seem like actual Magic cards, which is fine, but... Alright, Squadron Hawk, search up the rest of our Squadron Hawks. Pass the turn. No, I'm not talking about in Magic. In real life, I'm all for people enjoying life. In Magic, I'm all about making people miserable. For my own amusement. I have a lot of fun playing those type of decks. For me, that's enjoyable. Martyr of Sands is a decent draw. So I guess we just Martyr of Sands. Yeah, we'll just sack it. Yeah, there's probably no reason to sack it now, actually. Play the planes. Get in with Squadron Hawk. Pass the turn. That's what I figure, Pimped Up Monk. Fun is a zero-sum game. I'm not trying to be mean to other people. I just think those synergies are cool. Can you host a night stream on your personal channel, DJing great music and stasis locking opponents? That would be fun. That is one thing I miss about streaming on my own channel sometimes, is the ability to play Ween. Oh, Ween. And Wilco and all the other music that I love. Not that I dislike the music that we have on the stream, but if I had the option to play any music, I probably wouldn't pick this music all that often. Well, it can be, Stu, but if you're letting your opponent have fun, you're obviously doing it wrong. Unless your opponent likes being stasis locked. And then you're doing them a favor. Thank you for the follow. I missed your name. I don't think that that's always true. I like to joke about that. Really, it's very possible for both players to have a good, fun game. That's probably ideal. I just like to joke about it because it makes me feel better about doing horrible things and locking people out of the game. The knowledge pool lock was pretty awesome. I was a fan of that. Well, Martyr of Sands. Get in with our Squadron Hawk. Opponent is playing Death Shadow Zoo. Let's Plains, Squadron Hawk, no Surge, pass the turn. Am I going to add new music tracks to the stream? I would love to. It's just really challenging because it's hard to find music that won't get the stream muted, won't get copyright claims on YouTube. It has to be like Creative Commons music. So it's just, oh my goodness. Did I not reveal cards? I guess I did not click well there. I wonder if we get punished for that. Get Jars, thank you for the follow. Apparently we did not select 2. We might not end up getting punished for it though, which would be nice. Rezo, thank you for the follow. I'm actually not a fan of metal. If I was listening to any music I wanted to, yeah, you can give me a pump for that one, and I won't complain. Woo! Got him! Oh, we drew a Kami of False Hope. One of in our deck. Oh, Lord. Well, sometimes you just get lucky and draw your one of. And we save that one for the end, for the sense of surprise. We'll just stop on upkeep. Sack it. And I'm pretty sure that means our opponent can't win. I'm not a huge fan of EDM. Yeah, there is a playlist that is supported by Twitch. Do I do voiceovers for other for games too? No. I would if someone wanted me to do a voiceover. Can we have an olive drab in the Etc's music stream? Maybe. I'll have to think about it. And alright, bonus scoops it up. Man, if we go 4-1 and our only loss is to Burn on that mold of 3, I'm going to be so sad. Because Burn is a one deck that we should be so heavily favored against. If you aren't playing Magic, what Gabe? If you are playing Magic, what games do you like to play? Mostly I play Magic, really. I've been playing, I think I said this before, a little Civ 5 lately. And I'll probably play Civ 6 when it comes out, but I don't play a ton of games. My profile pic on Moto, or my avatar, is Peacekeeper. Why do I record against the odds in Budget Magic in 2-player queues instead of the league? So, I record them in the 2-player queues primarily because it's easier to avoid double matchups. So, like in Standard, if 40 or 50% of the people are playing Bant Company, I don't really want to just put 3 matches of Bant Company up for the Budget Magic. So if I play the 2-player queues and I run into Bant Company for the 4th time, I can just scoop and I lose 20 play points, whatever. You can't really do that in a league, or you lose a lot more value as far as tickets, and it's a lot more expensive. So that's one of the reasons. With Against the Odds, it's also because there's a random amount of matches. So sometimes we play 3 matches, sometimes we have like 8 matches, because it depends on how fast the deck is, and instead of being like a set amount of matches, it's more a set time frame, like how many matches can I edit down into 45 minutes, also play until we make something cool happen. And I think the level of competition for Against the Odds is slightly less. You're more likely to eventually run into some really janky deck if you're playing the 2-player queues, and sometimes that's really nice for Against the Odds because we might never win otherwise, depending on the deck. Alright, on to match 4. Oh, I don't know if that's true, though, Pipped Up Mug. Like, yeah, I agree with you that the competition can be weaker in the queues than in leagues, but I don't know if I think that makes the deck look better than it actually is. I guess it depends on what your baseline is. So I'm pretty open with most of the decks. It's a matter of, is this something you could take to an F&M type of thing for Budget Magic decks? Like, that's kind of the baseline. Like, yeah, it's awesome when we stumble across something that's even better than that, but we're not really expecting to build the next Pro Tour deck for $50. Like, that's just not really usually something that's going to happen. And then every once in a while we get something that's super awesome and even more competitive than we imagined. So I don't know if it really makes the decks look better than they are. I think it's just what your reference point is and what your goal is, I guess. Because with Budget Magic, I just want to make sweet decks that you can play at your F&Ms and things like that and show off different synergies. And when we once in a while make something that's better than that and is like legitimate and can win a league, that's just a bonus and gravy. We are running into a lot of zoo decks. That is very true. This Eidolon is kind of obnoxious. Alright, let's just... Path Eidolon. We gotta get rid of it. Get in with our Sarah Ascendant. Plains and another Sarah Ascendant. Gravy? No, Gravy is awesome, Stu. Are you really anti-Gravy? I would go with, like, Squash. Squash has got to be the most overrated. Or, like, Sweet Potatoes. Also not too much of a Sweet Potato fan. On Christmas, definitely eggnog. That is the most overrated Christmas food. And it's not even a food, but that's how overrated it is it qualifies as a food just so it can be overrated. Oh, Lord. We're taking a lot of damage. Down to 2. So we get to go up to 4. Kami of False Hope. Missville Plains, pass the turn. And I guess we'll just stop on upkeep and sack the Kami before they draw something. Richard still needs his weekly Jund 'em out segment. Just him playing Jund against 4 random people. That would be pretty good. I wanted to play the second Sarah Ascendant though, and I didn't want to take 2 damage for playing it. So to play the Ascendant, we kind of had to Snafu66. Thank you for the follow. We kind of had to do it then, or we would have taken more damage there. Well, we could be staying alive. Ranger, search out. Double Martyr of Sands. Pass the turn. Well, let's see if they can kill us here. Sorry, didn't mean to offend any sweet potato lovers out there. Kami is only combat damage, but if they... Yeah, I guess that's true. Whoa! Our opponent scooped? They must have drawn lands or something. Oh, Based Brevis, thank you for the follow. Oh, Lord. I just hit submit. Oh, maybe that's okay. We do have quality options, but I think it's just because we have a decent number of people watching. Still haven't got the partnership thing, unfortunately. Maybe one of these days. Oh, what are you talking about, Stu? Cranberry legislation. Alright, I guess this hand is okay. I wish we had more white cards for this Martyr of Sands, but we'll survive. Hopefully. Another Plains. Alright, Amiria, go. Yeah, I do not know how Richard 5-0'd. I guess the good thing is that was back when there was like a legitimate super cheap mono red deck. You don't love this music, Flashlighter? This music is awesome. We're just gonna sack Martyr now. Actually revealing cards this time. Go back up to 20. Basically a 2-for-1. Thank you, Bay State Bandits, for the follow. Wow, and our opponent... Well, Momir fans, because our opponent scooped it up incredibly early, you you might be in for a game of Momir here, unless this last match goes super long. We might be able to finish up with Momir. Proc stands for Proclamation of Rebirth, one of the namesake cards in the deck. So Proclamation of Rebirth, or Proc, returns 3 creatures with converted mana cost 1 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield, or you can forecast it by paying 6 on your upkeep, and you just uncounterably return one of those creatures. So the idea is we just Martyr of Sands, since it's 1 mana, with Proclamation of Rebirth, and just gain a ton of life each turn. Oh, man. I'm so sad. Oh, that burn matchup. We haven't lost a game in this league except that burn matchup. Oh, I'm so sad. We could be going for a 5-0 right now, but instead we lost to burn, which I don't know how we lost to burn. Have I heard of the Penny Dreadful format that popped up on Reddit? I believe I read the Reddit post about it. Sammy K96. It's like stuff has to be a penny, right? I am not Seth Mansfield. Speaking of Seth Mansfield, he might be the best player in the world right now, which is pretty impressive. He's been on an absolute tear. So everything has to be 0.01 ticks. That sounds interesting. I normally would say Owen is the best player in the world, but Seth has moved up in my rankings with just the sheer number of results he's put up in the last 9 months or year, whatever it's been. So I think there's a legitimate argument that he is past Owen, at least for the time being. I think if you look at the last 3 years or something, like that time frame, then I think it's pretty clearly Owen. Darkside Bob, thank you for the follow. Also, I learned that the Pro Tour actually starts at 7 my time, when I thought it was like 11. So I'm much less dreading the Pro Tour. Yeah, the Esper Super Friends or Planeswalker deck that he played at the Pro Tour was sweet. Finkel, I think, really, if you go best all time, I think it's still got to be Kai. I have Finkel as number 2, but if I had to pick the best player ever, it might really be, in my opinion, Kai, Finkel, and then there might really be an argument that LSV is number 3. Of course, this is coming from someone with a 2000 era bias. So I'm sure there's some people from the 90s that even though I've studied the history a lot, that I might be skipping over that deserve to be in the conversation. It's also hard to tell. The 90s in Magic is like the steroid era in baseball almost, because there was so much cheating going on, which is the biggest reason that it's just hard to really know with a lot of those players, and a big reason that Pakula should probably be in the Hall of Fame, because maybe he doesn't have the results of some of the other people from that time, but not only do you know he was clean, but he was probably the person most responsible, or one of them, for cleaning up the game. Yes, there's no doubt that LSV is Magic's #1 personality. There's no surpassing LSV when it comes to that. What's my favorite against the odds deck? Oh, that's hard to choose, making me pick between my children. I did really like Knowledge Pool, though. I guess that's a good argument for for Finkel, is that he has put up results recently when Kai hasn't. So maybe that's enough to move Finkel. It is amazing, if you need a testament for how good Finkel is, that he doesn't really play GPs, does his hedge fund thing, like isn't that much of a Magic player in the same way that you think of Owen or someone like that that's just 40 hours a week playing Magic, and he can still show up to a pro tour and just casually top 8. Like he's just so good at Magic. Yeah, Pakula was one of the big people in the 90s. There was a ton of cheating on the pro tour or like tournament level in Magic. And some of the best players in the game at the time were potentially involved in that, or were thought to be the best players in the game because they were doing sketchy stuff and sleight of hand and cheating. And Chris Pakula was one of the main forces, at least of the pros, that stood up and said, basically, we can't have this in our game. This is going to kill our game. We, as the players, need to stand up and get rid of cheating. So even though he doesn't have the results, he did a ton for the actual game of Magic by being so vocal about cheating. Casually punting. I'm good at that. What's up, Roy63? Yes, Mike Long. I think he is one in the name, one in the long list of names that pretty sketchy back in the day. That might be true, Dave C. I don't know. I think there's this weird... My take on cheating now is really, I guess, a bit complex. Like, I know there's cheating that goes on. There's been people that are cheating that have been caught recently. At the same time, I think because of Reddit and because of video coverage, the community is also really quick to pull out pitchforks on anyone that makes any sort of misplay and brand them a cheater. So I think it goes both ways. Like, there's definitely still people that are cheating, but because there's so much focus on coverage and the big communities on Reddit, there's also people that probably aren't cheating that get pegged as cheaters. I mean, that could be true, Dave C. Although I don't know if there's any cheats where you can just guarantee not to get caught. Oh, this hand. Can we get the 4-1? Man, if we 4-1 and our only loss is burn with this deck, ugh. Well, isn't there someone every year? Isn't there a big name SCG level player every year that gets caught for cheating? It seems like for the past few years there has been. Hoogland's not a cheater. He might be a bit salty and not I don't know, the most cheery personality all the time, but I don't think he's a cheater. Yeah, Steven Speck pretty much got proved a cheater. Guard Fabiano? I am a big fan of Fabiano. I really like his deck building. Oh, Tron? This could be interesting. All of our life gain doesn't necessarily do that much against Tron. Who's the biggest cheater in Magic history? Probably one of the people from the 90s, honestly. Although the ones that come to mind the most are probably like Alex Bertoncini as far as recent people. He stands out as being one of the biggest. See, like the stuff with like the Leon Trozzi stuff, that's one of those situations where I think it's harsh to call him a cheater based on playing 2 lands in a turn. Because you've watched my videos. I'm playing on Magic Online where you literally can't cheat. It's just not something that can happen. And I do make some pretty boneheaded plays. So to me, it's believable that someone can just play 2 lands in a turn, and they're not a cheater. They just played 2 lands in a turn. So, I mean, I don't know if he is or is not, but I don't think that's, for me, convincing evidence that someone is a cheater because they played 2 lands in a turn in a feature match. Alex Bertoncini, Karn Father, was he won the SCG Invitational, I believe, and won a set of the Power 9, and then was banned for cheating, and they made him give back the Power 9 that he won. And then he was just kind of like not very repentant after getting banned. So he kind of made matters worse when he could have potentially came back and things would have been fine. Catfish Stap. So I don't know if we can actually beat Tron here. So they're gonna get Tron this turn. The problem is, even though we have Tech Edge, they're gonna be able to have a window to play a Karn or something. And I wonder if Todd Stevens is streaming. He might be. Ooh, this is Eldrazi Tron. Alright, might as well reveal our hand for our opponent, since they're going to see it anyway. Gain a bunch of life. This actually might work out alright for us. If they probably have to take Proclamation of Rebirth, or we just get back Sarah Ascendant and Martyr of Sands. That's true. If we lose here, then I won't feel bad about losing to Burn. I would mostly just be disappointed because of the 5-0 that we would have lost to Burn, which should be our best matchup. But if we lose to Eldrazi here, then I won't feel bad about it. Hang on, I'm gonna go pull up Todd's stream for a bit of ghosting. Just kidding. He did take the proc. But we drew a Ghost Quarter. Ghost Quarter is sweet. Let's get in with the Squadron Hawks. So we might be able to win just by keeping them off Tron. So Ghost Quarter, Ghostly Prison. And then are we gonna wait for them to crack their expedition map? Catfish, that's a tool we have at MTG Goldfish. If we win this match, we come out ahead. We already are gonna break even, but we will actually win prizes if we win this match. So do we... actually, I don't know. We're just gonna sack this, hit the tower. Seems like the safest thing to do. taps a tower. Gets a waste. Interesting. Sacks expedition map. Yeah, maybe I should have done it on my turn. Plays another tower, which they searched up with the expedition map. Spellskite. And passes. Alright, let's Path Thought Knot to draw a card. They're probably going to redirect to Spellskite. Ooh, they just let it go. Interesting. Another waste. So this is like mono brown Eldrazi. We did get a land. Let's get in with Squadron Hawk. Planes and just kill the second tower. Problem is we're spending all of our lands killing our opponent's lands. So we're not very close to Sun Titan, especially. Is it just a coincidence that Magic streamers seem to have way better audiences and actual knowledge, acknowledge their audience more than just the other random game streamers, for example? Whoa, really? Exile our Squadron Hawk? Okay. I think acknowledging the audience is a big way that you build an audience. At the same time, that is a fair point. When if you're another game and you have 10,000 people in your chat, it's almost impossible. It probably is impossible to interact like we do with 500 or 700 people. Just because of the sheer number of messages. Really? Alright. Opponent makes a Scion token. I'm a little confused about what their deck is doing. I'm almost expecting just big colorless Eldrazi. Like Endbringer, for example. Oh god, Endbringer. Endbringer is likely going to wreck us. Well, opponent drops to 11. We play a Squadron Hawk. Underella, thank you for the follow. No word on the Twitch partnership yet, unfortunately. Pass the turn. Well, we're one land away from a Sun Titan, which would be sweet. I've been testing out your Splendid Ramp Brew, and it's been surprisingly consistent in getting a Titan out on turn 5 or 6. Going to bring it to game day, see how it goes. Awesome! Oh, there goes our one Sun Titan. Oh, God. And now we got Endbringer shooting down our stuff. We need a... not a planes. Oh, that Thought Knot. Such good timing. A Wrath would be good. Wrath. Our tutor dude to find our Sarah Ascendants. El Patento, thank you for the follow. Splendid Reclamation. No, we have Elspeth. Oh, yeah, Elspeth isn't out. Yes, yes, yes. Chalice actually limits our outs pretty significantly. So we really want a Wrath. That is our big draw here is a Wrath. Oblivion Ring would also be fine-ish. I guess Ghostly Prison isn't the absolute worst. It makes it so they can only attack with one creature. But they still ping us for 2 with Endbringer. Fangrim, yeah, I'm definitely excited to hear how you do. I'm looking forward to playing that deck when Eldritch Moon comes out on Magic Online. This is game 1 of match 5. Can't attack. We can't cast Martyr of Sands. Oh, thank you, Jostler. I also like it that way. I prefer the kind of simplistic, straightforward look. Oh, the loss was embarrassingly enough to burn. So does that mean... I'm so confused. Alright. Opponent gets in, has to pay 4. We still need that Wrath. Yeah, the Malta 3 was bad. We won game... Let's see. We won game 1. And then lost games 2 and 3. Game 2, I kept a slow hand that I probably shouldn't have kept. And then game 3, we mulled the 3. And we're still sort of in it? Oh, God. Well, we're going to have to draw this Wrath soon. This is just full-on Endbringer.deck. Wrath, please? Boom! Alright. Back to being alive. Yes, ping us to 26. Get to draw a card. Ooh, well, Ranger isn't actually that great because we can't play 1-drops. What we need to do is get to... Yeah, Ghost Quarter is going to make it hard. I don't know how we're going to actually win this game other than Elspeth. Sun Titan's gone. We can't play our 1-drops, which are our finishers. That is true, little Planeswalker. I do tend to be greedy with my keeps. And occasionally get punished for it. We can't play 1-drops because of this Chalice of the Void, unfortunately. We're just, like, locked out of 1-drops. A while back, you made a blue-white Eldrazi deck with Elder Deep Fiend. I made it, took it to FNM, been really good. Awesome. On 3? I guess that shuts down O-Ring. Alright, we get a Mistful Plains. I don't off the top of my head. I will have more things to say about... those decks in the future, because I can actually start playing with them on Magic Online. Ooh, Reality Smasher. Alright. Ooh, alright, we're back. We are back in business. This proc might be enough. So we get to search up to 1-drops. Which I guess is Kami of False Hope and... I guess just... I don't even know. Sarah's on it? Pass the turn. And now we just start proccing every turn. And that might... unless our opponent's really working their way up to Ugins and stuff, that might just be enough to win the game. But I can't cast proc, but I can forecast proc. I don't need to cast it. Forecasting it... Our opponent just... Oh, I guess this is intentional. Our opponent just emptied their hand into their chalices. Yeah, so we get to forecast, get back. I guess this time we'll get... no. Let's get back the Martyr of Sands here. And then that gains us life, so next turn we can get back Sarah Ascendant. Yeah, the chat informed me that we are playing against Todd Stevens. So let's... Yeah, there's not really any reason to sack that yet. Ooh, Ghost Quarter. Well, let's hit the power plant. Make sure they don't randomly get Tron. Pass the turn. I think we might actually be winning. Yes, we get to Martyr for a ton every turn. Opponent goes attacking. Well, let's do the old block and sack that doesn't do anything. Since Reality Smasher has trample. Felidar Sovereign just never wins the voting for some reason. And now I think we're just going to try to actually close out this game by getting back the Sarah Ascendant. Get in for 3. Opponent's down to 8, so we're kind of representing lethal. Eldrazi Tron is only like sort of a thing. Not like really a thing. It used to kind of be a fringe deck, but I haven't seen it in quite a while. Opponent passes. Well, I guess we keep procking since we can't really do anything else. See, this is the power of Martyr Proc when you get to do this every turn. Oh, and there's our Elspeth too. Alright, get in with our Sarah Ascendant. Put our opponent down to 2. I think it's possible to do Sarah Ascendant, or to do Felidar Sovereign. I don't know if it's going to be great, but I think you can build a reasonable deck. And we somehow got there. Well, the fact that we get a ton of... that's true, I could have cast them into the Chalice, you're right. That is a good point. So, let's see. Aura of Silence seems like a pretty spicy sideboard card against this deck. Ruined Halo? Maybe not. Stony Silences, Disenchant, and Pithing Needle. I have not tried Felidar Sovereign in Modern either. Yeah, Double Ghostly Prison was nice, and we got a little lucky to peel the Wrath at the right time, where we would have had probably lost. Good night, Pimped Up Monk. Have a great evening. What's up, Epic Zoo? If I missed any follows, I'm sorry. I might have missed a couple. So what are we going down is the real question. I don't know if I want Ruined Halo. I don't think it's that great in this matchup. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not that excited about it. Weathered Wayfarer is sweet if we can search up Ghost Quarters to keep our opponent off Tron. We do need to cut things. Maybe, do we just cut Squadron Hawks? How important are... Well, Squadron Hawks are kind of good with Martyr of Sands. I don't know what to cut here. Oh, it's funny, Epic Zoo. Are you a spy? Going back to tell Todd how I'm sideboarding? Alright, we don't have to play the Needle. Go down, Kami of False Hope. I guess we can cut A-Wrath, maybe? Ghostly Prison actually seems pretty good. You can post Decklist in here, sure. Stony Silence, I think, is pretty good. Alright, alright, alright. I guess they're not playing the typical Chromatic Sphere, Chromatic Star package, so maybe it's a good idea to not play Stony Silence. Are you spying on me, Epic? We'll try it like this. The thing I like in this matchup is we have endless ways to destroy lands. I'm just teasing you, Epic. We got most of our Wraths. Ooh, alright. Well, we got Aura of Silence, which is kind of like Stony Silence. Yes, if you post links to decks on legit Magic sites, that's fine. What do we get? Ghostly Prison. Alright. Amiria, go. Opponent is going to have Instatron. Well, I guess that means we're going to have to take a turn off to Ghost Quarter. Search is up. What? Ghost Quartering on turn 2 feels so bad. We need Strip Mine in Modern. If only we had Strip Mine, then our life would be complete. Actually, that would probably make Modern incredibly miserable. Searches up Eldrazi Temple? Alright, we're still gonna hit the Tron land. I am that goldfish guy. That's a fair characterization of who I am. I'm gonna start calling him that Thought Knot guy in a minute. That's the third Thought Knot we've got hit with. Pillage would be pretty sweet. I would be a fan of Pillage as well. Pillage is a pretty decent card. Todd Stevens is the original builder of the Double Moonwalker deck. Yeah. Yep. We got a little bit of everything going on in this hand. There goes our Ghostly Prison. Another Ranger of Eos. Alright, pass the turn. Cavern. Oh no. I don't know if we're gonna live long enough to Wrath. Come on, good draw. Alright, Aura of Silence. Take that. Oh. Agharbar, thank you for the follow. Yes, be nice to our opposition. I don't know Todd personally. I just know he made Double Moonwalkers, and that deck is sweet. Really? Really? You really have another Thought Knot? That's getting a little ridiculous. Come on, Wrath. Or Squadron Hawk. Alright. Well, that was a lot of Thought Knots. If only we were on the play there, I think we would have had a better shot. Yeah, probably a bad idea to take out that Wrath. And maybe a bad idea to take out Kami of False Hope. Go down the Aura of Silence. And maybe the Disenchant. It doesn't look like they're actually playing that many artifacts. We got Kami back in. I don't know if it's... maybe it's worth it just for Expedition map. It also dies to that big Eldrazi pinger thing. There's nothing wrong with being that thought knot guy. Although, it would be nice if, just for this last game, for the third game, the last game of our entire league, if maybe you just kept it down to one thought knot this game, I would be fine with that. 0 might be asking too much, but thought knot is still quite a magic card. I talked about it a little bit earlier, Almighty Bean. My main takeaway, and I don't really want to get into the big cheating discussion again, but my main advice is just to be wary of calling people cheaters based on something like that. Because I can envision, based on my experiences playing Magic, professional players really truly accidentally playing an extra land during a turn. So, was there cheating? Was there not cheating? I don't know. It could have been a play mistake. It could have been cheating. But I don't think one instance like that is something where you can call someone a cheater. That's my takeaway. Alright, well, we get a turn 1 Sierra Ascendant. And then a Squadron Hawk. This hand's alright. We got a Tech Edge. Which, if they don't just have turn 3 Tron, could be good. That's what I count on the Shadow Titan. Every once in a while, you're that random guy. Alright, so let's just Flagstones, Sierra Ascendant. Pass the turn. So, if we can get our Sierra Ascendant big, that would be nice. Well, let's get in for 1. Squadron Hawk, refill our hand with Hawks. This Ghostly Prison might actually be pretty helpful here. Unless he has an Eldrazi Temple, he can't Thought Knot us this turn. Alright, Power Plant. And passes. Ooh, Kamiya False Hope. Alright, let's attack with both. Opponent's down to 17. And then let's just Ghostly Prison. I think it's better to get that out of our hand just in case they have a Thought Knot. Eugene, thank you for the follow. I think Spell Queller is maybe the lowest I could see it going, would maybe be 5, but I don't think it's that unrealistic for it to stick in the $8 to $10 range. I think that card is actually super good. What does our opponent have? Thought Knot. Called it. Who would have guessed? Just to tilt you. Yes, I did get many puns for that. Ha! Well, we drew another Wrath immediately. Well, let's get in with Squadron Hawk. Play Tech Edge. Play Squadron Hawk. Play Squadron Hawk. And pass the turn. Are we going to see much of Brood About Nothing with Modern Spirits? Seems very possible. Oh, no! The one thing I asked was not 2 Thought Knots again. How does that happen every game? Oh, so many thought knots. Do we risk letting our opponent get Tron? Alright. So our options here, we can just tech edge a Tron piece. But we could O-ring Kami of False Hope and attack. O-ring this Thought Knot. I don't think I'm going to tech edge a Temple. Get in with our Hawks. I guess it's relatively hard for him to attack, thanks to Ghostly Prison. Alright, Cavern. So our opponent is not very close to Tron. If they play Reality Smasher, they can't attack. Oh, they have Displacer? No. Is this the third Thought Knot? I would love to see Bant get smashed at the Pro Tour. Alright, Reality Smasher, sure. And then an Expedition map. Alright, let's do some attacking. Down to 9. We're kind of close to winning. O-ring the map. We might be... Are we alright with our opponent? They essentially spend their entire turn to... They might spend their entire turn to activate the map, and that might not be that bad for us. Because of Ghostly Prison. But what are they going to get? Another Temple? That would put them up to 8 mana towards a Nulamog. They could have All Is Dust, yeah. Well, but if they draw a land, they have 7 for All Is Dust. Just by playing any land. Well, maybe me and Todd will have to do some sort of versus series. That would be fun. I like his decks a lot. I'm just gonna play Kami and pass. There's ways. Do they have an All Is Dust is the question. Alright, cracks the map. I guess I could have map into All Is Dust. IceCube, thank you for the follow. All Is Dust is the scariest card here. Nulamog isn't even that bad. There's a Temple, so they could still have mana for it. No attacks. Alright, let's get in with all of our flyers. Another Sarah Ascendant. Pass the turn. Opponent has 9 mana for Eldrazi. There's all his dust. Oh, were people talking about stuff in hands? Yeah, if you're talking about stuff in other people's hands, you can't get upset about getting banned. All right, let's Path of Thought Knot to draw a card. Martyr of Sands. Alright. Martyr of Sands. Pass the turn. Another Urza's Land. Gets in for 5. Endbringer. Alright, let's Path the Thought Knot. Draw a card. Oh, there's a proc. Proc could get us back in this. Proc might be enough. So let's O-Ring. Get rid of the Endbringer. Planes. Get in with Martyr of Sands. Put our opponent to 4. Then next turn we can proc back Kami, Sarah Ascendant, and Sarah Ascendant. That could be enough. It really depends on what our opponent has. Expedition map. They're going to have Tron. They have all the mana in the world. 7. Oh, another All Is Dust. Oh, that's bad news. Well, now we really need to draw Wrath. Proc doesn't even really save us here. This is going to be super close. We're probably dead. Yeah, we can't gain any life here. Oh, no! Their last card was Gut Shot? Oh, my God. Seriously? Gut Shot? Oh, into Relic! No! Oh. Oh, Gut Shot into Relic. Now block the Endbringer. We do not have any reach. Oh, they drew something else? Oh, that's kind of bad. Wrath? Wrath? Alright, Ghostly Prison doesn't do it. They have too much mana. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, that was a good match. Well, when it was all said and done, we broke even. So we won an awesome... We had a great match at the end. We had a great match. That was a great match to finish off the league. And then, let's see, we lost to Burn, unfortunately, and then crushed various Zoo/Burn decks. I call punt on the second Ascendant extending into all his dust. Okay, I guess that was fair. Although I think that... I guess I would have to look at the board state. I think that that might have given us lethal if our opponent did not have all his dust. Yeah, it was definitely close. It was a close match. All his dust is pretty good against us, and double all his dust is even better. But it was a fun match. The deck actually seems pretty good. Alright. I will do one game of Momir. So if somebody challenges me, I will do one game of Momir, and then I gotta get off for the night because we're gonna be back at 1 tomorrow for the next one, so for the bonus stream. So first person who shoots me a challenge, I will accept, and that was incredibly fast. I don't even know that that Ryan could have heard me say that because of the lag on Twitch, but alright, closing out the stream at your request, everyone's request, with a game of Momir. Let me flip up the Momir avatar, or overlay. I guess it also has the avatar in it. Alright, so Momir, to wrap things up tonight, we'll keep, which is usually a good idea in Momir. Yeah, they were super ready. So Swamp Goo. I love how Goldfish has become... What's up, Fugazi? I love how Goldfish has become the go-to site for all things Magic. Particularly love the weekly Legacy articles and Vintage articles. All we need to do is drop down the Tiny Leader section and revamp the Commander section. That's good advice. Tiny Leaders, I could see that disappearing at some point. It didn't actually end up having legs. And I would be for a better Commander section. Oh, really? Wall of junk. Ender, thank you for the follow. Oh yeah, you can have the stream open, little Planeswalker. I'm not picky about that anyway, but in Momir, there is absolutely no advantage of seeing your opponent's hand, or almost no advantage. Each player loses a life for each zombie on the battlefield. Well, your 2-drop is much better than my 2-drop. Burnups, thank you for the follow. Really glad to see a different take on the Phage Endless deck. I played it a few weeks at the beginning of the year. It was so much fun. Yeah, the deck was really fun. I like that deck as well. It turned out pretty fun. Yeah, that's the thing with Momir, Dark Puka. Eventually, you will regress to the mean. I think being good at Momir, I wonder what good means. Maybe 55%? Maybe? There's not... You do improve your odds by being good, but I don't think you can improve your odds nearly as much as you can in other formats. Ooh, Hallowed Spirit Keeper. When it dies, put a 1/1 in the battlefield where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Well, that's not very good. Alright, Swamp, 4-drop time. What do we get it for? yeah, I mean, don't make obvious stupid mistakes. And you can, if you're very good at playing the battlefield, you can pick up a few points here or there. Also, hitting things like Goblin Clear Cutter, that is a pretty good way to win the game. So, do we get to start making 8 drops? We get to start making 7 drops next turn? I forgot how to Momir. What land drop do we skip? Normally, the simplest thing to do is just wait until you make a 3 drop if you're on the play, and a 2 drop if you're on the draw. But if I'm but I often make a 2 drop even though I'm on the play, and then skip my 3 drop. But basically, you need to skip 2 turns if you're on the play, and 1 turn if you're on the draw. Oh no! Oh, okay. Whew. For some reason, I thought for a second that that was non-land card. I guess that's not the mechanic, though. If that was non-land card, it would have just insta-killed us. Whew, thank God. How many things become vanilla in Momir due to the graveyard interactions? Not a ton. There's some. I wasn't as wrecked as I thought, thank God. Yeah, I was thinking it was the other way, and that was just going to mill me out, but I was wrong. So we do get to make an 8 drop here. Saga Forest, doesn't really matter what combination we had. Momir, make an 8. Discard the island, and... Ooh, Ashen Rider. So I guess we'll just kill our opponent's land. Ashen Rider is pretty good. Opponent drains us. Literally all lands. That is very true. Alright, pass the turn. Hitting a land there is pretty key. Land destruction is on the short list of best things in Momir. Opponent gets a 4. It is Blastoderm. So it fades away in 3 turns, or sort of 4 turns, but has Shroud, kind of big. Yeah, so we get to exile a permanent when it enters and when it dies. Also eat the spy. Oops. That's like an attack I would make. This thing actually does have flying for some reason. It doesn't necessarily look like it, but it does. Well, I guess it looks a little fly-y. Yeah, no worries, little planeswalker. I've definitely done that many a time. That's one of my most common punts in Momir, is to attack into something that I didn't realize had flying with one of my flyers. I actually do that quite, like, fairly often. Well, that was kind of a punt for me. I should have played a forest and sacked it to this clear cutter. Well, if you're looking close, I guess it kind of has wings. Oh. Yeah, all Archons probably have flying, come to think of it. I guess we make a 5. This game is awkward because we're both sort of down lands. Oh, Kamigawa, the land of the most overcosted things of all time. Nice 2-3 for 5. Only in Kamigawa. Yeah, Blastoderm's actually a really good card, and Calciderm as well. They're both pretty solid. Opponent gets a Game Trail Changeling. 4/4 Trample for 5. That's true, another Reacher. Alright, let's just block and block, I think. We lose our wall, unfortunately. Yeah, if only we had some spirits in the graveyard, we'd be soul shifting it up. Yeah, a lot of those cards are better than they look, but they just look really bad. If you look at their power and toughness to mana cost ratio, they look they look bad on their face. Alright, I guess we're gonna do this again. I kinda don't want to. Because if we sack lands, then we're gonna have to start skipping drops. Block, block. Alright, I'm just gonna skip this turn. Opponent drains. Let's just skip the turn and pass. If we play a 6, though, then we can't play 7 and 8. Because we won't have enough lands. What's the other zombie? Oh, the changeling. You're right. 9 drops are safer than 8 drops. They're less likely to do something really bad. But they're also, a lot of times, less powerful. You're more likely to get a miss that isn't that great at 9. When 8 has some of the most insane creatures in the game. Avacyn, Grizzlebrand. I mean, there's some decent 9s. Oh, there are... The Eldritch Moon cards are on Momir. You can't play Eldritch Moon. It's not legal in Standard. But they are available on Momir, so we could get the first ever Emrakul if we get up to 13. But we're not really that close to 13. I don't think we can skip long enough to get to 13 mana. I guess we'll see what we hit at 7. It would be sweet to get the new Emrakul. Ooh, Simic Sky Swallower is pretty big. Is this thing dying yet? It lives one more turn? Alright, let's attack. Well, we kept the other stuff from attacking. The changeling. We gotta win this this zombie race. Zidoranius both down. I don't want to block the Blastoderm, but I wanted to keep this Game Trail changeling from attacking. Alright, Blastoderm finally dies next turn. That's actually been pretty annoying. But we have lethal in the air, so unless our opponent can kill us, I think we just win in the air next turn. Mossbridge Troll. If it would be regenerated, destroy it, tap any number of untapped creatures you control other than Mossbridge Troll with a total power of 10 or greater. It gets +20/+20 until end of turn. So it becomes a 25/25. So our opponent could do that. Tap down their stuff, make it huge. It does not get around our flyers, though. I don't think we can get to 13 in this game. We need some sort of mana doubling or something. Yeah, that thing's crazy. Alright, drain down to 7. This could be an against the odds card. Win with a 25/25 Mossbridge Troll. Yeah, I could see that working. Yeah, if I had Trample, it would be at least, like, somewhat playable. And it looks hilarious. It's got to be, like, the biggest troll. Ooh, Teamer Battle Rage, yeah. Oh, our opponent did it! Oh, well done, little Planeswalker. Yeah. I'm glad you activated it. Oh, so good. I've never seen anyone activate a Moss Bridge Troll, so I'm glad it happened. The things you see on Momir, that's what makes this format so great. Where else are you going to see an activated Moss Bridge Troll? Who knows? Alright, heading into game 2 of our Momir match. And let's see. I guess we'll keep this. Seems reasonable. I guess we're on the play. Should we go with the controversial zero drop technique? Maybe this is a game. Takeout77, thank you for the follow. Maybe this is a game that we get up to 13 mana and get to make a Emrakul. That would be pretty spectacular. Come on, mana creature. Or Kami of... What's the 2-drop Kami that... oh, Crescent Moon. Yes, the Howling Mine Kami. Ooh, we got it. We got the mana creature. Oh, so that's the one downside of Momir is when you randomly hit a mana creature, you were just like automatically winning. It's so good. I don't know what the equivalent is in Constructed, but you feel like you're so far ahead when you do that. Our opponent gets, alright, 3/3 Death Touch. Reasonable, but no mana creature. Yep, fast mana, card draw. At the same time, card destruction for your opponent if you can, or discard rather. Discard or land destruction. I combine those two together into card destruction, which isn't really a word. When it enters the battlefield, each other player may search his or her library for a land and put it on the battlefield. Oh, we just rampant growth our opponent. Well, there goes our advantage. We get the Mana Dork on 2 to ramp us to 4. Then we get a card I didn't even know existed. Hired Giant. Oh. That's like Bull-Dry Heavyweights. But for lands. You can get Flip Walkers. I don't think they can't flip, though, because the cards are tokens, so they don't have backsides. Yeah, I guess that's kind of as much as anything in Momir can be a pun. I guess that would be included. And now the worst thing that could happen is they somehow kill our Heart Warden. Then we're like behind. Oh! Alright. Well, now you get to see how cards with no backsides work in in Momir. So this Huntmaster of the Fell is going to trigger every turn because we never actually cast a spell, but it'll fail to flip because it technically doesn't have a backside. So we're just going to have to click through this trigger constantly. Thank God it can't flip, or that would be so good. The opponent attacks. I think I'm just going to get that off the battlefield. Death Touch could potentially trade up with something better, keep us from attacking with something better later in the game. So the werewolf triggers begin. We are going to make a 5, discarding this forest. Zertas Swine. Just a 5/4. Yeah, the trigger is a bit annoying in Momir. That is very true. It's time to wolf down our opponent. We need to bore down for this win. Oh, have a heart. What did our opponent get? Blood Host. Alright. Normally I try to avoid having forests on the battlefield, along with islands and plains. Unless I randomly hit something that wants me to have one of those lands, my goal is to end the game with just mountains and swamps so we don't get hit by island walk abilities, forest walk abilities, things like that. What do we get at 6? Crook Claw Elder. Tap 2, untap Purrs we control, draw a card. Tap 2, untap Wizards, give something flying. If we attack for 5, we get hit back for 1,000,000,000. I think we just do not attack. That is true. There is Swamp Walk, but we got to play something so we minimize our risk of getting hit by things like that. Plus, the reason to go with mountains and swamps is because a lot of the best activated abilities, Blood Host doesn't count, but that's an example. But a lot of the best activated abilities are in red or black, so that's kind of the reasons. You avoid 3 different forms of land walk. Islands are clearly the worst because islands have those creatures, the various serpents that are like, oh, if your opponent doesn't control an island, it just dies or it can't attack. So islands are the lands I least want to play. And then forests and plains are kind of meh. I usually don't play them, but it's not the end of the world if we have to. Oh, this thing, I almost slammed into the spider. Whew, good thing I checked that. Alright, let's pass. One, two, three, 1,000,000,000. Yep. It's easier that way than using more precise numbers. I get enough precise numbers writing fine. Oh man, this thing is going to be so big. Power and toughness equal to the total converted mana cost of other creatures you control. So it's basically just going to get +8/+8 every turn. Yes, I avoided the reach creature, so anti-punt for that. We get to make an 8-drop. We need a way to kill that Ancient Ooze, or it is going to kill us. It's going to be so big. Sisters of the Stone Death doesn't really do it. So I guess now how this game is going to go is we're going to just have to chump that Ooze every single turn while hoping that we hit something that kills the Ooze. We're going to need that mass bounce Kraken, really. Tidespout Tyrant. Ability, not relevant in Momir because you never get to cast spells, but it's still a big flyer. I guess we could randomly hit a bird to start drawing cards, so we'll keep Crook Claw around and just block with the boar. It is Sisters of the Stone Death. Target creature blocks it this turn if able for a green. Green and black, exile a creature blocking or blocked by it. And then an ability that doesn't matter to Momir. Put the creature onto the battlefield. So I guess we could maybe try to catch our opponent by... This says blocking or blocked. Alright, let's make a 6. get a Volcanic Rambler. Yeah, we can actually leave the Heart Warden up to do it. So this might keep us alive for the time being. Although our opponent has flyers, and the problem here is they can just... We have to play off curve forever, while our opponent can keep making 8-drops. So to not be forced to just chump the ooze every turn. What's up, Naz? How you doing tonight? So I think we still lose with this line, just because our opponent's getting 2 extra mana of creatures every turn. So we're going to have to be really lucky for our 6 drops to keep up with their 8 drops. Oh no! And a Crusher. This just keeps getting worse. We were playing Momir, or we were playing Modern, and then we switched over into Momir to wrap things up. Went 3-2. Coulda, shoulda been better. Managed to lose with mono life gain .deck, or Martyr Proc, against Burn of all decks. So that was embarrassing. Never give up, never surrender. That's our motto for the night. Actually, I usually surrender first, scoop early is my real motto. Yep, our opponent... Oh. Oh. Are we actually going to get to kill the ooze? Oh. Our opponent figured out what was going on. Well, I guess we could just draw another green source. This is... Alright, enough of this. We gotta make an 8-drop and try to get removal. Or a Crash of Rhinos. Yeah, I think we can live one more turn. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, being in the stream is fine. I'm not really worried about it. Basically, we just try to chump one more turn and make another 8-drop. Ooh, we get an Eldritch Moon card. Vexing Scuttler. Just a 4 or 5. So one of the interesting aspects of Eldritch Moon is it does make the 8-drop slot in Momir a little worse because of cards like this, which are pretty bad. Whether that actually is going to change the way people play, I don't know. So we need to sack this and this. We're just going to full out chump and try to hit that bounce Kraken. And if we don't, we scoop. If we do, then wonderful. That's pretty much our only play here. Alright. Come on. For some reason, I never remember this card's name. Ooh, Bloodfire Colossus. I guess wouldn't have done it because that ooze is so big. Alright, on to game 3. It is pretty much Scornful Egotist .set for Momir. Alright, game 3 coming up. Alright, we get to play first. And we'll keep it. Of course. Swamp Goo. Actually, you know what? I've been playing the right way too long. I'm going to play the tilting way. We're going curve out. Curve out plan. Ooh, and we get a vampire bat. All right, aggro. Aggro Momir. Our opponent's gonna follow suit. Is it possible for someone to play Marin again on Commander Clash? It could come up again, yeah. Oh, it drives me crazy when people do this, but I'm gonna be the people for a minute. All right, vampire bats getting in there. 4-2. We're just gonna ride this vampire bats all the way to victory. We could have made a 0 drop, but that seems a little... Even that is too much for me. Come on, no flyer. No flyer to get in the way of our vampire bats. Alright, 1-1 fear. Our vampire bats can raise that thing. Vampire bats getting pumped up. Get in 4-2. Mountain. Make a 1-drop. You only pump the bats twice. Oh, Hedron grab. We can go on the mill plan. Oh, new plan. Can we stall out long enough to mill our opponent out 3 cards at a time? Oh, 2-2 horsemanship. Now our opponent has a lot of unblockable creatures as well. We can only pump it twice anyway, so the next swamp doesn't really do anything different. I just love against the odds so much. So opponent's down to 47 cards. Let's make a 3-drop. Actually, do we skip? I think we need to skip one more. Let's skip. Self-mill and hope we hit Lab Maniac? That doesn't seem all that likely. So I think we're gonna trade off the vampire bats with this fear thing. Oh, never mind. Now we need to not trade it off. Oh, so now we're doing the no attack, no block thing again. Because we can't get hit by this. Gruul Dra's Spectre is so bad. Okay. Yeah, Grounds Creeper is pretty sweet. Yeah, you can... They're promos on Moto, but you can get them from bots and stuff. They're a little bit expensive compared to regular lands. Not expensive like in paper, though. Alright, let's keep the milling going. Opponent's down to 43 cards. So now I think we make a 3-drop. Discard a mountain. So activate Momir X3. Pro Black. Not that helpful. Azusa would be good. Oh, Oracle of Moldiah would be absurd, or Courser to play lands off the top of our deck. Any of those would be pretty insane. Oh, Rhine Warden Owl. So many flyers. We're kind of losing the aggro race. So we got to block with this Vampire Bat to trade with this Spectre. Primeval Titan would also be awesome. So, alright, let's just mill our opponent. They're down in the 30s, down to 39. Still a long way to go, though. We could use a big flyer, maybe? Ooh, Soul of New Phyrexia is big, but it's not really flying. The problem is we're taking 1,000,000 points of damage. We're taking 5 a turn right now. What's our opponent get? For good old Phyrexian Hulk. Just a 5/4. Yeah, we'll definitely block the Fear Dude if they attack, but they do not. Odds of hitting something with horsemanship are pretty slim. Well, get to mill our opponent a bit more. Seven drop. Power and toughness equal to the lands you control. Alright, that's not the worstest. Get in with Soul of New Phyrexia. Opponent takes it. We might be able to win the race, maybe. Our opponent hitting something bad here. How about a Phage? If our opponent hits a Phage, then I think we win. That would be fitting on our Against the Odds featuring Phage. Instead, it's a Pearl Lake Agent. Pretty good. Does stop our stuff from attacking. It is no ooze, that's for sure. We're still kind of getting... There's the mill cards. Alright, opponent's down to 31, so our milling plan sort of worked. Our opponent does have some decent looking foil lands. I will say that. Come on, Hoverguard Sweepers. Oh, see, these Eldritch Moon cards are ruining it. Oh, now I think we lose. They all trigger when they're cast. They're just not very good. Well, we're going to kill this Pearl Lake Ancient. Pass the turn, and we need to hit something with removal. Yeah, for some reason they show up in Momir before pre-release events. So after the Wednesday downtime, but before pre-release events, they still show up in Momir for some reason. So you know they're on Magic Online, and we could be playing with them, but they just don't let us. That almost makes it feel worth. Alright. And... Oh, Denizen of the Deep. Alright, that does it. That bounces lots of stuff, but unfortunately it's all our stuff. Well, little Planeswalker, thanks for the game. It was fun. Oh, yeah, that's Momir for you. Sometimes good things happen, sometimes bad things happen. Good game, little Planeswalker. It is possible to play in paper, but it is pretty challenging. You got to actually get big piles of cards based on converted mana costs and kind of do it manually. So you'd need a big pile of 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, all the way up through. And then when you make a random card, just kind of like shuffle up your pile of whatever drops like it was a deck and put the top card down. So it wouldn't really be every card in Magic, but you could make a sort of Momir QB type thing that would work. But it would be a little bit challenging. Binders and dice, yep, that could work. That's actually a good point too. You could probably do it with a website and proxies slash tokens, whatever. That is true. That would work as well. Yeah, we finished Martyr Proc, moved on to Momir. Anyway, so Martyr Proc was sweet. I still can't believe we lost to Burn. And then Momir was awesome as always. So anyway, coming up, I will be back tomorrow, 1 Eastern Time, for our special Eldritch Moon release stream. So make sure to tune in for that if you're around. And then normal stuff over the weekend, articles, Commander Clash, and then next week we'll have all Eldritch Moon stuff for Budget Magic and Against the Odds, so keep an eye out for that as well. Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out. It's been a blast. And I will talk to you tomorrow, 1 Eastern. I will see you then.